Hey, welcome to the Squares of the Round Table podcast, and thanks for joining us today. We have a full crew this week, and everybody's here.
Some more than others.
Yeah, wow. I didn't even know that. That would be Mike, and Ivan is with me, and I'm Jeff Stein. Welcome to the Squares of the Round Table podcast. I have a feeling this could be interesting because with Ivan and I both being gone last week, I'm sure we have lots of stuff
The spring is wound tight.
Yeah, I have a feeling this could be one of those shows. Well, I don't know if the spring is wound so tight for Ivan at this point.
Well, let's just say, let me see. The spring is wound tight for you because I know you had a lot of competition stuff happening, and me, my spring got loosened up after 10 plus years. Just everything is, everything's coming up roses. Yeah, so all right, let's continue with Mike.
Wouldn't that be bad?
Everything's coming up roses?
Yes.
Well, everything coming up roses would be great. Now I can
not out of there, it's not.
Oh, no, but at least now I can water them. Woo-hoo-hoo. Yes.
Good Lord.
Imagery, mental imagery.
Yep.
This show's going to be full of them today. Ooh, where's my apple? There, apples. Apples are good. I love apples.
Great. Apples are in season this time of year. You get good apples. Mm-hmm. Speaking of good apples, Jeff, for 2 weeks off.
Let's see. Well, I put the humorous contest speech that I did up on our Facebook page. Check it out and see it if they wanted to. And it's been out on YouTube, so people can check that out too. It's Dynamite Productions. Mm-hmm. So I'm kind of done with contest season because I didn't win, and but I'm kind of okay with that because how can I say? There's a formula and I didn't follow it. And I kind of was like, you know what? I want to do what I want to do this time, and so I want to do something a little bit different, and we'll see if it works. I thought it did. Apparently the judges didn't. That's okay. I'm good with that.
Was it a total crash and burn?
I did take second. So
okay, good.
Well, at least you were in the top 3. Come on, that's not bad.
He's in the top 2, Ivan. Jeez.
Yeah. Well, unfortunately, ready? I'll take my down. Unfortunately, there were only 3 people competing, and the third person disqualified.
The third person was disqualified. I need to know why.
They went over time.
Oh.
I could see. I could see for when she's supposed to stop, and she gets a 30-second leeway. And she just keeps going and going, and I'm like, oh, she's disqualified. Okay. But yeah. So there's that, and then I'm trying to think. What else? What else do I got? I'm trying to think. I saw The Singing Mutant.
Yeah, how was that, bub?
I was, I knew Jackman was pretty good, that he had those abilities and those talents. But I gotta tell you, that guy can really put on a show. He's far more even and really a really amazingly nice guy. I mean, like, there were people, there was a woman in one of the front rows that had a sign that said, "I'm here all the way from Alabama," and then they brought her straight up on stage.
There you go.
Anybody who kind of wanted to, anybody who's like, if he heard somebody close by yelling, "Can I take a selfie with you?" he'd do it. There was an old lady with a walker down near she's like, "I'd like to dance with you," and he just came on down and danced with her. So,
cool.
I mean, just, I didn't know he could tap. I didn't know he could play the drums. I certainly didn't know he could play the piano. But yeah, surprisingly good. Really impressive. It was funny because I didn't get it on video, but after he got done doing the tap and the drums thing, he goes, "Brian Reynolds, do that."
Ooh.
And he's like, and it was funny because his
Shots
comment was,
fired.
no, his comment was, I hope, he's like, if you've got it on video, don't post it because Ryan Reynolds will go nuts on Twitter. And it's funny, I guess the next day was Jackman's birthday, so kind of crazy. But yeah, it was funny. He had a couple of really good jokes too. It was amusing early on because he's like, yeah, if you're here because I'm Wolverine, it's going to be a long night for you. But yeah, like I said, he was really impressive. I did get a chance to see The Politician on Netflix. I can talk about that later.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And I did get a chance to watch from Showtime the miniseries that they did on Roger Ailes, which is Russell Crowe Bots. So I guess we can talk. I can do a little quick review on both of those later. And then been watching now that like the fall season is back. I have been watching all kinds of stuff. Did you watch Batwoman yet, by chance, Mike?
No, I've not seen it. I forgot to DVR it. I'll have to find it somewhere on the places that are available.
Okay.
Is Batwoman on Netflix?
No,
Batwoman on regular television.
Okay, you're talking about like the CW?
Yep.
All right. I'll have to start looking out for that. Which, by the way, Netflix is a new addition in my home now. So now I've got Netflix. Saw a number of things that sparked my interest too, especially a show called Remastered. I've got a couple of critiques on one of the episodes.
Okay.
Oh, you know you've got access to, Ivan.
What's that?
That show that what's the name of that show, Mike? The one
Toys
about
That Made Us.
Yeah.
Now you can go see that now.
Yeah, you've got access to all the old Marvel shows.
Right.
There's a few other things. Matter of fact, like I said, I saw The Politician over the weekend, so I'll give you a little bit of a review on that, especially since that is new to Netflix.
Cool.
We were looking for Irishman, but that's not out yet, which looks amazing if you haven't seen it. The one that's like, geez, how many old school mafia actor guys could they find for one movie? Because it's like Pacino, De Niro, Joe Pesci, Keitel. It's like, I mean, like the only people. It's like there's only like a few people. Like it seems like they're missing. Like I think the only thing I can is like Ray Liotta maybe, but that's about it.
Pesci.
Yeah.
No, he's in it. Joe Pesci's in it.
Oh, okay.
He did mention Joe Pesci.
Okay, I must have missed it between cues. Sorry.
No, that's fine. Between chomping away on the apple. But so yeah, kind of in my 2 weeks. I don't know which way you want to go. Do we wish to go into the wonderful world of surgery, or do we wish to find out what's going on?
Let's go over to Mike first.
Yeah, my week wasn't as interesting as Ivan's. The wonderful world of surgery. We'll get into that. I still haven't watched Far From Home. I got the DVD, but I did my grocery shopping. I saw the Toy Story 4 was out on DVD, so I bought that and watched it. Man, all the feels at the end. And and Keanu Reeves, man, he's funny as Duke Kaboom, man. He's funny. Liked it. I still haven't seen. I'm not catching more Easter eggs and stuff, like the scene where they're in the antique shop and they had to lift up Duke Kaboom's like ramp with a film projector, and the boxes of film next to the projector have the names of various Pixar shorts on them. So those are neat little Easter eggs.
Okay.
I like that. So yeah, Toy Story. Watched the South Park that's been going on over the recent events with China and all that. So I've been following. It's been years since I followed South Park, so it's been pretty good.
Yeah.
Last week was the one where Cartman refuses to get immunized. So the neighbors, they try and sneak a doctor into his house when he's sleeping, and then he wakes up and he runs around the house squealing like a pig, can't catch him. with the banjo music playing. So it's pretty fun.
Jeez.
And yeah, had a nice weekend. Hey, Ivan, we'll get into you a little bit later. But yeah, had a nice time here with Scott. He did a good job filling in with y'all with last week's shows. Got a little insight. I encourage everyone, including current present company, to listen to last week's show.
Need to get on.
You had a good. You met Gene fucking Roddenberry, man. I'm so jealous.
Yeah.
Awesome, man. And Sunday, hung out with friends. Did a little range, but I have to learn how to clean these weapons. So it's like it's fun to shoot them. Now you got to go home and you got to clean them. I was like, oh man.
Blood oil.
Yeah. That night, I don't know. I could smell gun oil like the next day. It's like I don't know. I don't know if it's just jarring or it's just I don't know. Anyway, but that was fun though. I did a few clay pigeons and it was fun. But it was so cold that day. It's getting cold. It sucks. It's like my toes were a little chilly by the time we were done for the day. We went inside, hopped on home. It sucks. It's getting cold.
For me, this is ideal. Today, especially since I was indoors for much of it, the transition between seasons this week, but getting out today was just like much.
So yeah, Ivan. So how long did it take you last week to finish the Chicago Marathon?
Well, I got I had the surgery last Monday, and today I ended up getting released from my procedure, and it is an eye opener, okay, because you get to thinking on a number of things when you're going through. You well know, it's been documented on our show, my fear of going under. Well, it just so happens that I get there, and I talk to the anesthesiologist, and he kind of takes in all my information, I'm like, yes. Well, we can't put you under, Mr. Rivera, because putting a tube down your somewhat narrow pathway, you might end up choking because you have.
Right.
So we're going to go ahead and we're going to give you a spinal. What's that? Well, we're going to go ahead and.
I already have one.
We're going to tap your back, and from your waist, you're not going to fing. So I'm like, okay. So I'm thinking, how bad could this be?
Those are famous last words. I don't use famous last words. You know that.
Well, I did in this case. How bad could it be? At least I'm not going to. I'm not going to be going to sleep.
That's a big ass needle, dude.
Well, here's the thing. I get wheeled into the room, and I'm greeted with about 8 or 9, like a bunch of worker bees, just buzzing around this whole room.
Were they dressed like in the 70s, like Saturday Night Live bee costumes, like John Blue?
That would have made for a very comic situation.
Congratulations, bee.
So, but everybody was so nice. They had a guy, deep Irish brogue. So we with the procedure. All you need to do is just sit down here. Just look like you're hugging yourself, and you just have to tell us if you feel it in your right leg or in your left leg. And they're going in and they're tapping around and everything, and they just like, oh, I feel that. Okay, I feel that. I don't feel nothing there. Well, we got the center, great. So, and then it's like the bottom half of my body just disappeared. I felt not a thing.
You couldn't move?
So they, after they tapped me out, and then after I felt that, they lifted me up, and I'm thinking, so this is what it's like when people can't walk. Boy, that was a time. And then they laid me on the table, and while they were busy doing the procedure, I'm listening to everybody having conversations about golf, about football, about lousy baseball teams, marriage proposals, some guys playing music in the corner going, yeah! And just everything like if I was, just like annoyed doing someplace. And then the guy whispers in my ear, he goes, all you have to do now is close your eyes and pretend you're playing vinyls at a rave. Magic words. And I went ahead and I closed my eyes and just pretended that I'm indeed for my turn to go out there to do my groovy thing. The procedure lasted about 90 minutes. And throughout the entire 90 minutes, again, didn't feel a thing, but also was not going crazy knowing that I hear everything in my ears and there's people going on about what they're doing. So it made me very, very comfortable. I was very surprised. Then it was funny because they're like, after they do the procedure, it says, okay, we're going to have to get you on the gurney now. Lifting me up, and I'm actually laughing while they're lifting me up. And going, this is fun. They didn't give me any laughing gas or nothing. They didn't give me nothing to sedate me. I was wide awake. But just moving around but not feeling my legs was oddly and peculiarly, if that's a word, enjoyable. I don't know. Anyway, so after they got me in,
out, man.
So anyway, after I got laid out on the other gurney and then they wheeled me out and then they got me into bed and then, like I said, nurses were so nice. But then it was the waiting for the final to wear off. That one time, in fact, that took 3 hours. So it's funny because the nurses just patted me on the leg going, okay, do we feel anything yet? Do we feel? No, I don't feel a thing. Oh, okay.
Be glad that's for sure.
I had other thoughts going in my mind thinking, I know what you could do with your hand there and it's not on my leg. But anyway.
The naughty nurse thing is not a turn on for me.
Well, I know. It's not for me either. It's just a comic.
The problem with the naughty nurse thing is they're never exact. It's never like what you see.
They're never like you see them in the cartoons.
In a movie or anything like that. Or
hello, nurse.
Nope.
Yeah.
It's never like that. That's not what it looks like.
When I had my bout with kidney stones.
Large guy named Sven.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
When I had a bout with my kidney stones back in 2016, I had actually a pretty nice nurse that one day. But anyway,
Okay.
one day. That was the one time. Anyway, so Ivan, you got your legs back, Lieutenant Ivan?
I got my legs back, but then when I got up to use the bathroom, all of a sudden a very sick feeling going through me. I was very dizzy and I wasn't feeling myself, so they had me sit down. They said, okay, you're not ready yet. Let's give you some water. I mean, I perspired and I was not feeling myself. So I had got some water in me. They brought an IV in me and put it in me for about 10 minutes and then straightened me out, got downstairs. Now, the real navigation begins. So now they've sent me home with Cathy catheter. Okay? Cathy catheter. Now,
I don't know how to work.
Oh, to really hang on you.
Is that
once
a new
you get
album of hers?
Yeah.
It really hangs on you once you get. But all I know is that between, big Cathy catheter and little Cathy catheter, which attaches to your leg, and you can actually walk around, although not comfortably, because again, you got something happening. You got something happening downstairs. Neither way was it anywhere near as comfortable. And then there were the moments of the irritation, the itching. You know how like you get a cat broken a bone, and thank God for those who've never broken a bone, but sensation of like wanting to stick a wire hanger up there so you could itch the inside of the cast. Yeah, I had that kind of a sensation happening, and believe me, it was not fun. Julie was able to keep my sanity together with alcohol prep and and Q-tips to keep things clean, so that way I wasn't going out of my mind.
You mean like Jack Daniel's alcohol?
No, some Jack Daniel's alcohol. God, you have no idea how badly I wanted to be sedated in some way, shape, or form throughout this whole week. Believe me, it was
give you any drugs?
No, the only drug they gave me
No
was
painkillers?
they gave me no painkillers, just antibiotics, so that way I didn't get any infection. And they told me to go back to my regular regimen of pills, which of course includes the Procors is kind of a pain reliever, thing that I take every day. But aside from that, it was just a whole lot of television viewing, a whole lot of thoughts, a whole lot of things. Just trying to at the time clock away. Then you start getting crabby, and you start getting irritable, and you start getting annoyed because, okay, I got to take big Cathy catheter off, and I got to put little Cathy catheter on. Oh, that's nice. Now I got to get little Cathy catheter off.
So you got sisters.
Yeah, I have sisters, so I had have sisters in the course of a day, and waking up to as much fluid as one should not humanly have to witness first thing in the morning. And you're like, gosh, and it's like 1,500 milliliters. And you're like, damn.
1,500 milliliters of, I don't want to know. Never mind.
Yeah, just water. Just, water. Just 1,500 milliliters of water. And it was just like...
drinking?
That's how much you have to consume?
No, that I was actually draining out of my person.
Oh.
Yeah, I just like, what the...
There is an advantage to this.
What now?
There is an advantage to this.
Well,
There's an advantage. One.
Well, yeah, that way you don't have to get up out of bed.
To go to the bathroom.
You don't have to go to the bathroom. You just lay and just let fly, which in a way it's kind of weirdly strange, but kind of pleasant. I don't know. It just, not having to get up in the middle of the night to go to the bathroom. All you have to do is just let go. It's the morning.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh! All right, that's where the next turn comes in. Okay, I get I eagerly await, getting to the doctor's office this morning, and I'm like, oh, come on, let's hurry up, let's get this out of here, So I get there, and Julie's with me, and there's nobody in the doctor's office, except for the assistant, and so Jules comes to me and tells me, well, the assistant is here, and the other person that does the front isn't here yet. Well, the doctor says if he doesn't arrive on time, then somebody at the office is going to do it, but there is nobody but the assistant at the desk. Here comes the assistant at the front desk. Oh, hi, Mr. Rivera. I'm going to take that catheter out for you. I'm thinking to myself, here's a person who answers the phone, works on the computer, and she's going to pull this large thing out of my person with no prior experience. And I'm thinking, oh my God, what has happened to me?
Well, you don't know she has no prior experience.
No, not at the moment, but then she tells me, well, I'm the doctor's assistant. I do this all the time. I'm like, oh, okay. Okay, cool. So, you know what it's like? She's talking about her husband, and she's talking about all these patient things. She's talking to me while she's pulling this thing out of me. And I'm feeling the sensation of this thing coming out. First off, I feel the balloon get, shrunk down so that way they can pull it out of me, and then they pull it out of me, and it's just, I can feel myself being faint because it's a sensation that I wasn't ready for. But after she got done, and everything was done, I was just like, oh my gosh, this is great. And she goes, well, we're going to have some leakage for a little bit because it was a big hose. And then of course the doctor comes in, and then he goes, oh yeah, you'll have to check back with me in a couple of weeks. Call me in a few hours to make sure you're doing your thing normally. And I'm like, okay, great. I get home and I get the sensation. I run to the bathroom, and it's just like, I'm like, wow, I'm 18 again. Yeah, my gosh.
Okay, do we really want to keep going on this?
Well, hold on, let me finish. So, so the satisfaction of knowing that now, since then, I've been to the bathroom 4 other times, which is more than I actually do in any one given day. And everything is just leaving in such large quantities. And I'm like, this is my 4th glass of water today, because it's like getting used to the fact that now that everything is flowing and functioning, I haven't realized how badly I needed so much of this water, and how for years, I guess I was retaining water because I wasn't expelling as much as I should have. So that was a revelation. So now, it's kind of a new mind. Anything, but I did take a picture of some of the stuff that was floating out of it, and I blew it up and created art with it as a photograph. But aside from that, nothing else. I don't have anything to keep. No. Although
it's my phone backdrop.
There you go. It's my Facebook backdrop picture. No, I'm kidding. Come on.
Was Marley playing with it, right? No.
Rolling around the floor in the dish.
Oh my gosh! I mean, Marley just couldn't resist the fact that here's this thing that he could play with. He's busy. I'm sitting in the bathroom. He's busy batting it around, saying, "Gee, what's this? Gee, what's this? Oh, this is that." And then I see his teeth. I'm like, "No,
don't chew a cord.
No, don't chew on the tube. No."
Do yourself a favor and chew on the lamp cord instead.
Actually, it's kind of funny. There's a part of me that would have loved to see what would happen if he drew. Because cat would have been hit in the face with all the pee.
Just water everywhere.
Yikes.
Well, not just water. He'd been hit in the face with all your pee.
Yeah.
It's kind of funny. It's it's all boom.
Gross.
That cat be like, what did I do?
There was one time where he actually get on top of the hose while I was sitting and fell asleep. And I'm trying to get up and he won't move. No, I like the warmth. That's where you're sitting. I'm not moving. Crazy cat. And then you get to invent things when you're running around with Cathy catheter, and you're going to be amazed at what I use as a stand to hold Cathy catheter next to my bed. Okay? My short microphone stand with my clip, and I'm looking at it thinking, I hang Cathy catheter on the stand, and I'm thinking, wow, what a great idea. It's adjustable. It does what it needs to do. And then Julie flies out with this idea. Oh, look at that. A stand. Is that a CAT scan?
Oh, boy.
Oh.
Cat stand. I'm like, oh, wow. And then I'm thinking, all right, clever ways to wear your underwear. Oh, I'm busy
So
trying to invent.
I think we're ready to move on here,
Yeah,
Ivan.
I
think
think, yeah.
I'm ready to invent underwear called underwear, where actually you got a hose that goes in and out, and you can just
okay.
you know.
Yeah. I think we're there.
Okay, fine. I was just being inventive.
Yeah.
That was.
I'm sure you were. Just put it on your back, like Yoda.
Oh yeah. Well, the problem is you have to make sure it's below your waist.
Oh, you got to use gravity. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right. Well, we're glad you're feeling better, and now you got that. Kathy's gone, so
Yeah.
we're happy.
I am happy Cathy-less person. But yeah, everything is good. I feel great. I mean, I haven't felt this good in a long while, so I'm like, yeah, this is good.
We're glad you feel good.
Yeah, I think colon check is next.
Oh, I'm getting towards that age. I
already had mine, and I also,
when you're 50, right? I think I gotta go. 50?
Yeah, when you're 50, that's
coming up soon.
That's coming up soon. So yeah, you're gonna have to get the stinky pinky happening there. So
Or what was I thinking about? One of those things where they get the colonic. I think Ivan needs the colonic. That's what he needs.
Oh, I don't need no colonic, man.
Where they stick the hose up there and it all comes flying out like
fire.
And all of a sudden, your teeth are floating.
Yeah, well, no, you lose like 10 pounds that way, though.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, believe it.
Hey, there's that sandwich from 3 months ago. God.
Here's that cheeseburger from 2006.
Yeah, exactly. Hey, look, there's that
scrolling through the whole the whole menu of movies and things that are on there. I'm like, gotta check that out.
Oh, that's a no. That's a no. What was advice?
No, but
you need.
You had a fancy way of saying no, Ivan. I appreciate it.
Ivan, make sure you check out Love, Death, and Robots.
Oh,
Love, Death, and Robots? Okay, I'll check it out.
I saw that a while back, and there's going to be a season 2. That's the one that's kind of... It's not heavy metal, but it's got a similar...
Same pastiche.
Yeah, same, like, really short episodes, and they honestly, you could probably watch the whole thing in 2 hours, easy.
Okay.
And it's like 15 episodes, and everyone is a little different, and it's very, it's all over. It's kind of
very film noir.
Yeah, it's not heavy metal, but it's definitely got.
It's very
different.
dark points.
It's different.
Yeah.
It's different. There's not enough nudity. I will tell that now.
Not enough for Jeff's taste, apparently.
No, not at all.
No, not enough. That's so Netflix. It's like, where are the naked people?
Jeff's like, more boobs.
For this? Where's the boobs?
Pan down. We got Bush. But yes. Okay.
It took like Glow 4 seasons, like 3 seasons to get boobs. It's like boobs finally.
Cyberspark, I've been kind of binging on a little bit, and it seems like our man Cyberspark is going down the furry road lately.
He's done a lot of YouTube vids about just animation in general.
Well, yeah,
a lot of that uncanny valley and furry animation.
Yeah, but he's good though. I mean, it's locked me onto that. I've been kind of catching up with him, and that, and one thing that Jules had kind of gotten locked into is Schitt's Creek.
Yes.
With Eugene Levy.
Yeah.
And Sarah Levy.
Levy, I think it's Levy.
Levy. But yeah, I'm still in, it was hard. It's hard to get through season 1. I'm having a hard time getting through season 1 because it's like, okay, more of these jokes are going to be the same joke over and over again.
Yeah. I mean,
I heard it gets better in later seasons, but it's like I kind of want the background a little bit more. But I'm like, there are a few people that me like skip to like season 3 or something like that.
Well, we've binged the first and second season. We're already on the third season already, and it does get better, and it does get more intense, and it does get a little more juicy. And I'm not going to put any more spoilers out there because you're watching it currently, and so am I.
Well, I don't know how much I'm going to watch it, but so the premise is for people who don't know it. So it's I forget what's the woman who is on Uncle Buck who plays the mom, and also is the mom.
Oh, Catherine O'Hara.
Yeah, the mom who plays for
Maura.
Yeah, Maura something or other.
Yeah, Maura.
So it's the mom from Alone.
Yeah, Catherine O'Hara.
Eugene Levy, and then Chris Elliott is in this show too. And
his son is on there. Daniel Levy, he's on there.
I didn't realize that. Okay, but
and then
so the long and short of it is that this family calls I guess they're the shit. They're the schlit or the shit. I guess the shits.
Oh, they welcome you.
Right. So they were like these multi-billionaires, and then got ripped off in like a made-off kind of thing, and they had like no money, and the only thing they had left was they had on some reunion bought this small town that they named after themselves called Schitt's Creek. And now they live there in like the hotel, like one of these cheap ass
hotels,
worse than Motel 6 looking hotels, and like the mayor of the town is like Chris Elliott, and yeah, it's
as down home as it possibly gets. Okay, and when you enter Schitt's Creek, there's a sign. And what does the sign look like? Here's a man standing behind a woman who is bent over.
I saw that episode, yeah.
It got some of the, but it looks like in a way that the guy is busy boning the lady while she's in the water. Well, okay. And he goes, oh, well, that's my grandfather, and that's her sister that's in there. And it just creeps it out as it goes along. It just
didn't they
but then they put a sign up there saying, yes, that is his sister.
Yeah, that's my grandfather or something like that. Yeah.
And is this on Netflix?
This is on Netflix.
Okay.
It's not just on Netflix. You can. So I have access to it too because it's on Pop.
Okay.
Or at least been on Pop TV.
No, it's still on Pop. Yeah.
Right. Well, I think they just announced that the last season is going to be season 5.
Right.
But it's still on Pop TV, so I've been able to access it for free off of Xfinity. So that's how I've been watching it. But Ivan's been watching it on Netflix. Yeah,
and it's really good. It's like this super hyper rich family and everything, and I guess their accountant ripped off all of their money, and it was like then here it is. It opens up with the government coming in and seizing all their assets, and it's trying to chase everybody down. You can't take that.
Yeah.
And it just goes from bad to worse. I mean, you get these people that have sent their kids to boarding schools, so they have no idea who their kids are. And the kids are what, 27, 34? The son's like 34 and the daughter's like 27. And
it's that old?
Yeah.
I didn't realize they were that old. I thought they were in their 20s.
No,
Are they really that well? Maybe that's something that they pick up because that was not clear.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. Okay,
it's like, they're two spoiled rich kids who've never worked a day in their life, and it's like kind of amusing.
Oh my god! And then the realizations from the parents when they were told, oh, "This happened because this happened, and that's why when we had money we could do this, but now we can't do this anymore." And Mara, she's like this actress and everything, and just she's trying to like relive glories while trying to coping through life. He's got like 40 wigs, and she's wearing a different wig every day.
Yeah, it gets so yeah. That I have seen Kids Creek. It's
pretty wacky stuff, really. It's really
like I said. I've heard that it gets better in later seasons. I have been having trouble powering through season 1, even though they're half hours.
Well, hang and give season 2 and especially season 3 a gander. It really does pick up after that.
Can I skip from season 1 to season 3?
Yeah, you can.
Okay, I might do that because I heard that it picks up like around really it gets pretty good around somewhere around there.
Yeah, I mean because I noticed like you said it started off real slow in number 1, and it becomes like a molasses style type situation. It's just kind of slow, but then towards the end of 1 it starts to ramp up, and then 2 it ramps up, but it stays at kind of a same speed. So yeah, if you go to number 3 where it really starts to get juicy, yeah, that's where you want to go.
Okay. As long as we're on Netflix stuff, like I said, I did get a chance to binge The Politician, and that's the Ryan Murphy series that got picked up for Netflix. They actually signed Murphy for this for a 2-season contract, so that's rare for Netflix. Usually it's okay when season 2 happening. No, they already knew they were getting a season 2, so it was just releasing season 1 and then going into season. But season 1 just got released, so basically, it starts based in a high school with the really rich, and the main is Ben Platt. And you guys have seen Pitch Perfect, right?
Yeah, I have. Yeah.
Okay, so Benji is the guy. The guy who plays Benji is Ben Platt.
Oh gosh.
And that's the guy who they're using as the main character. He was also the lead in Evan Hansen on Broadway.
Okay.
But his big thing is, so he's going to be a senior in they start out where he's talking about how he's gonna go. He's in Harvard. And he's like, I am gonna be the next. My ambition in life is to be president of the United States. That's what I'm here to do. I'm going to do. That's my goal. And he's like studied all the trends and all this stuff, and he's like talking about how one guy's like, "But you're from a rich family." He's like, "Yes, but I was adopted, and I was the son of a I was of a stripper." Okay, so he's got like all his bases covered, and then but he's got to win his senior class election, and it got like. He's got his little team together of people. Like, he's got the girlfriend who really may not really be a girlfriend, but she kind of is, and she's very politically savvy. Like, at one point, because of something that happens, she dumps him on purpose so that they can pick up 10 points in the polls. He's got two people who are totally acting as strategists who are, like, doing that, and the whole thing is just... The best way I can explain it is Ryan Murphy, who created Glee, basically took the Glee thing and basically turned it into politics and then made it even crazier and darker, a little bit darker, even a little bit more delicious, way more over the top. Gwyneth Paltrow is in this as Ben Platt's adopted mom.
What?
Oh, yeah. So, and by the way, she's smoking. I'll tell you right now, I can say this because it didn't happen. The person I was watching this with the way that her and Ben Platt interact, we're like, so when does she have with the stepson? Never happened. Never happened.
Oh.
But the way that they were at times, we were like, she's gonna bone the stepson, and it didn't happen. And there's a whole bunch of twists and turns really good in it. The person who's really good in it is Jessica Lange.
Oh.
Jessica Lange is playing a part of the grandmother of the kid he picks to be his vice presidential running mate, who supposedly is the chemo kid.
Okay.
I don't want to give too much away in case people watch it.
Right.
Actually, here, ready? If you want to watch it, this is the part where you should go to spoilers. Because I'm going to mention some of this stuff, and I know Ivan will watch it whether he wants to or not.
I'm curious.
The long and short of it is, she doesn't have chemo at all. The grandmother's been doing Munchausen on her the whole time, and apparently killed her mom that way, too.
Oh my gosh.
And she is just a mess. And there's this guy who plays it named Ricardo, and he is the dumbest motherfucker I've ever met on the planet. But he's hysterical. And at one point, he's so dumb, and yet he has this one idea and one episode that's absolute genius. Uh-huh. It's like, how did you figure that out, you idiot?
He has these moments of lucidity.
No, it's the only moment of lucidity that has the entire show. Then there's a bunch of there's some interesting cameos. Like, so Gwyneth Paltrow is married to this older guy who's this huge billionaire type, but she doesn't really love him. And lately she's been having an affair with the woman from the stables.
Oh boy. Okay.
Who is played by Martina Navratilova.
Wow.
And Martina Navratilova can't.
I don't know who that is.
The tennis player.
Oh, okay.
Martina Navratilova, like the '80s, like phenomenal, like Hall of Fame,
phenomenal
like,
tennis player.
Yeah.
Yeah,
yeah. Extremely masculine. Extremely masculine.
Muscles where she shouldn't have muscles. Yeah.
Well, I mean, she's okay. It's just one of those things where it's funny because it's like she can't act worth a damn, and Murphy plays right into it. Where it's like her lines are like it's basically just Martina reading her lines.
Right.
And
it's like Peyton Manning in the Nationwide commercials.
Oh no, it's better than that.
Yeah.
because he creates a character for her, and yet at the same time, you can tell she doesn't really have really good acting chops at all.
Yeah.
He's playing into the fact that I'm just going to let you be Martina Navratilova being this character. And he does all, and of course, he has all kinds of stereotypes in the show, overly stereotype stuff. And the long and short of it is, and this is where the crazy part is, so the last episode, because it was funny, this friend and I were watching it, and it's only 8 episodes long, and the 5th episode, we're like, what are they going to do for 3 more episodes? By the way, that election episode is hysterical. That thing explains people's thought process on the 2016 and upcoming 2020 election. It's hysterical. It's so funny.
Okay.
Yeah, the final episode, and this is the tease for next time. So for season 2, it looks like both Judith Light from Who's the Boss fame and has done Law and Orders, and Beth Midler are both going to be up for season 2.
Wow.
No, Beth Midler, I don't think she's up to anything really.
Well, she's in this.
Okay.
And she's in the last episode of the season, and apparently this is going to spill over to season 2. I don't want to give too much more away what happens in the last episode, but I'm telling you, it is a little dark. They do go to like teenage angst and suicide and stuff like that a bit too. But there's some really funny. There's some really stuff in here. So I would say this: if you liked Glee, you'll like this.
All right. Fair enough.
Ryan Murphy's stuff is always is good enough. Is it like, oh my God, you have to see this? No, but it is really, it's one of the better things I've seen on Netflix in a while. So,
well, to the music lovers, speaking of Netflix, okay, passing a little bit. One thing I did catch, and it was a series called Remastered. It's a documentary. One that started me off on that was the one about Sam Cooke, and to some of the things that they get discovered years later about what actually happened with Sam Cooke's murder. And they had a number of star appearances in the documentary. I mean, they spoke with Robin Robinson, they spoke with Quincy Jones, they spoke with Al Smith, who was the engineer to many of Sam Cooke's records, and his wife. I mean, just wonderful, wonderful stuff. So if this is your wheelhouse, for those of you music lovers out there, definitely pick up on Netflix. It's called Remastered. There's
like a behind the music kind of thing?
It's a kind of a behind the music, but it's not as gaudy as Behind the Music, and it's not like unsung, but it's a little to the point. Not to mention the fact that the vintage clips they use in it itself are golden. They use and all the original radio broadcast interviews are in it. The people they picked for it just really drove the story home, and it got you to think when you walked away from it. And for someone who had thought they had the whole story, no,
you think you know the whole story, but you don't.
No, I didn't, and it got me to thinking some more about it. And then the way they put it together. A lot of people know Sam Cooke as being the entertainer and the father of soul music, which he was. But what I didn't know was his circle of friends included some very powerful people and some very famous athletes. Okay, I was in close with Muhammad Ali when he was still known as Cassius Clay. He knew Malcolm X. Joe Brown, one of the great football players of the league. And here you
mean Jim Brown?
Jim Brown, sorry. Did I say Joe Brown? Okay, Jim Brown.
Yes.
Okay, my
you said Joe Brown. I'm like, Brown? Who?
Okay.
Oh, Jim Brown. Nope. Yep. Okay.
No, that's right. No, thanks for correcting. That's fine. But yeah, so you have these minds in the community that was just on the verge of the whole thing happening, boiling over in those
the
times.
Civil rights movement, yeah.
And so here you got this thing going on, and this was happening and was closely monitored by others, J. Edgar Hoover and such. And then the California Police Department at the time, who did no investigation really of what happened the night that Sam Cooke died.
Okay, so this is one of those shows where it's all like you think Sam Cooke was taken out.
Yeah. So it tries to give you all the facts is known as what to have happened with it, and it gets you to thinking about it, and it just leaves you with this wow factor, and it's amazing. I can't wait to check out the next one. There's 15 episodes thus far, so I'm about to dive into that. Probably going to do one tonight. And so, yeah. So now me being a newcomer to Netflix, oh my gosh, yeah, old guy like me, newcomer to Netflix, and I'm going to be probably able to actually keep up with some things.
Ivan will never leave the house again.
Yeah, well, no.
Those DJ gigs.
Yeah.
I do.
Yeah, man, do my DJ, come back and watch some Netflix. Yeah, man.
Which I'm happy to do that. I mean, in fact, by the time this show airs, I'll be back out doing my DJ gigs again, which I'm real happy about that.
Out in the wild.
Huh? Out in the wild. In fact, it's going to be a real busy week. In fact, I got a gig on Wednesday, a gig on Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Wednesday, Thursday, and then I guess I got about 7 or 8 different gigs in the next week and a half, getting caught up and everything, and then of course including Halloween, which got a gig that night too. So it's gonna be interesting.
It's a bummer. I work Thursday nights. I'll be home to see the trick or treaters. That sucks. Oh well. We don't get a lot of kids in my neighborhood anymore. We used to,
we don't,
but not anymore.
No, the couple of years since I've lived here, nobody. I mean, I buy the candy, and the day after Halloween, the candy sits, and the day after that, it starts to get eaten. I mean, yeah.
Yeah, so Jeff posted an article about Halloween candy on the Squares Around Table Facebook page.
Yep.
Yeah, you want to talk about that real quick?
By a large margin, apparently, Reese's Peanut Butter Cup #1.
That is a good one. I've got a bag of them in the fridge right now. I was doing my grocery shopping, and we walked past the Halloween candy, and there's the bag of the individually packed peanut butter cups. So I grabbed a bag, and I put them in the fridge, and I like them nice and chilled.
Absolutely.
Oh, yeah, me too.
Yeah, you know what was really funny? You know what's really funny? You know what was tied for #4?
What?
At 6%. So it was Hershey Bar at #4, tied with, get this, candy corn.
I hate candy corn.
I like it. I don't go out of my way to eat it anymore because I can't leave it out anymore because the cat will lick it.
No, I've never been.
Okay, yeah.
Then I can't.
No, I've never been a fan of candy corn. In fact,
against it.
No, me neither. I'm okay with it, just in small amounts.
It was a meme on Facebook. I saw it somewhere. It said, "How to eat candy corn? Open up the bag, pour the bag out over the garbage can, get a Reese's cup."
Well, you know me, I'm a Three Musketeers guy, so Three Musketeers over Snickers or Milky Way.
Yes. Well,
that's just me.
Well,
but I've been fond of Twix bars lately. I like Twix.
Oh yeah, Twix bars are good.
Yeah.
I like Twix bars. I like the thick Hershey chocolate bars. I don't like the real thick or full of nut.
You don't do the almonds or the white chocolate or anything like that?
No. Just give me a nice small Hershey's bar with the nice Rice Krispies thing there.
Crunch, the Nestle Crunch.
The Nestle Crunch. I like the Nestle
the Crackle
Crunch.
bar, right?
Right. Crackle, not much Crackle bar. I do like Milky Way, but I like the Milky Way Midnight Milky Way. I don't like the red Milky Way bar.
What is Midnight? Is that dark chocolate?
It's a dark chocolate bar, and then
I don't like dark chocolate.
I know you're not a fan of dark chocolate.
It's too bitter.
I don't know what they do with it. It's actually, to me, it's actually good. But I'll do the Milky Way. I'll do the Reese cups. I'll do the Nestle's or the Hershey bars, thin and stuff. I like Mounds. But
what was more on that list, Jeff?
Yeah.
Hold on, I'll go find it. Give me a second.
It's on the Squares Roundtable Facebook page.
Yeah, I know.
But maybe Halloween costumes. I also gotta get me a pumpkin because I like to carve a pumpkin and cook some seeds in the oven.
Yeah, that's always been your tradition.
Yeah.
Let's see. So according to this is where it's weird because this is like apparently a poll from Monmouth. According to this, here were the top 7 vote getters. This is what I don't buy.
Okay.
They have Reese's Peanut Butter Cup at 36%, number 1. Snickers is at number 2 at 18%.
Yeah.
M&M's is number 3 at 11.
Yeah, I like M&M's, plain M&M's.
Then this skit starts.
I like plain M&M's. Yeah.
Oh no, well, the peanut butter ones are good. I like the peanuts; those are good too.
Okay.
Then there's a tie at 4 for Hershey bars and candy corn. And then this is where it gets weird because 6 is like Skittles and 7 is Starburst.
I like Starburst ones.
And
I like certain Starburst.
8 is like Tootsie Pops. I'm like, where is like Milky Way? Where is like Kit Kat?
Yeah, Kit Kat is awesome.
All that kind of stuff.
Are great.
I'm like, who did they get?
Who did they research this candy out with?
Yeah, I mean, I'm like, did they find people from like the 50s or something? Or
where's the good and plenties?
Yeah, seriously. I mean, I'm like,
where are the Mike and Ikes?
Where are the snowballs?
You know, Mike and Ikes are still somewhat popular.
Snow caps, yeah.
Snow caps.
Let's see, hold on. 8% of Americans say Halloween is their favorite holiday, where 37 say it's their top holiday. Well, 53% say Halloween isn't a favorite. That's hot.
Now we get to watch those shows on like the Discovery Channel, like the competitions of the houses, the haunted houses.
Mm-hmm.
People decorate the front of their house to be like a haunted house.
Yeah, they do that a lot around this way.
Yeah.
In fact, I think there was one haunted house here in Chicago that they feature like every year because it's kind of like the haunted house that, people really go out it up.
Yeah, it's been a while since I've wanted to. I don't know. I feel lame because it's like I don't want to go to a haunted house. I don't care. If I want to get scared out of my wits, I can deal with. I can do that ways. I don't need to
Here's something that caught my attention though, and all right, I guess now they're using a color code for the pumpkin baskets where you put the candy in. Now they've got pumpkin baskets that are blue.
Yeah.
Have a sign on the side. They say if you see a grown up with a blue pumpkin bag, it's not because that that the person behind it is autistic, and they are never too old or too grown to enjoy Halloween. So be so kind as to put the candy. I think that's cool.
And they got the green ones too for kids that have allergies.
Right.
Did you see the rant, the apparently this was just like a sarcastic rant and not 100%, but it went viral anyway, from the guy from Elmhurst who talked about stop with the cheap candy and stop with the cheap candy and the minis, and we live in a place where really in reality, you can give a full bar. Stop giving like the individual servings and all that stuff. Like really, like 4 of those things count as like one real one. So give us the real one.
Oh my god!
Usually, like for a trick or treater, I'll get like multiple bags of different things, and I'll throw like 2 or 3 pieces in each bag.
Yeah, that's what he said. He was talking about. He's like, look. Really, don't give them like 1. Give them like 3 or 4 if it's one of those.
Yeah,
and that kind
little
of stuff.
ones. Yeah.
But he was talking about. He's like, you get tired of getting the Sweetums, tired of getting like the pixie sticks and all that stuff, and
I like these,
garbage.
I like the Smarties
and the Smarties and all that stuff.
I like the 6.
Especially because he made it. This is how I knew it was a joke. Yeah, apparently other people didn't, which was. Because I need to get my 2% cut and I'm Reese's.
That's cool.
Yeah, real fast. So yeah, because I mentioned it, otherwise I wouldn't care. But I did see the name of it. It was on Showtime. It's only 7 episodes. It's kind of like a fictionalized thing about Roger Ailes. And it's Russell Crowe playing Roger Ailes.
There was that other movie where he was like a corrupt politician with Mark Wahlberg. I think it was in it. I think it was The Shooter. I think it was.
It was. Anyway, it's a high recommend. It was really good.
Okay, I'm sure he was a good performance.
Naomi Watts was in it, and she's pretty good too. So yeah, matter of fact, I know there's an actual movie coming out based on that too.
Yeah, with Margot Robbie, I think, is the one.
Yeah, and I think there's a couple other people in it too, but I can't remember who at the moment.
Now, was this miniseries?
Yeah.
Okay.
It was just like a short miniseries kind of thing that came out this year.
Okay.
Batwoman. There are a lot of people who are having trouble with this show.
There are a lot of people shitting on this show.
Yeah, because of the lesbian thing, and then I guess they have Rachel Maddow, who's a political commentator, being kind of like a off-camera voice for like their news kind of person, and people were shitting on that. And so, honestly, I think it's worth it. I thought the first episode was okay. I think my biggest question I'm going to have about all of this is it just going to be the one villain also? Because
if it's the one villain all season, it's already going to be a yawn then.
Well, I mean, it's interesting and I don't want to give too much away, but
yeah,
there's a reason why that villain makes sense, but at least they're still focusing on that rather than giving us the villain of the week like they do in like some of the other shows.
And all the other Batman shows.
Not even the
superhero
Batman
shows. Not
Black, yeah.
Well, okay. I mean, all right, yeah, all right. Maybe one villain, but maybe for a period of few episodes, maybe, and then maybe not as many in a season. But again, not that you're already going to know once you turn the dial. Oh, okay, she's going to be combating this person again. If they could make it a 3, 4, 5 episode arc on a particular villain, I think that might choose to be a little bit more interesting than say a season of the same villain. Don't you think?
I don't mind it all the way through. I just think that if you keep that, and I'm okay with it for right now, but I'm not sure how many more episodes I'm going to be okay with it.
That's what I'm saying. I mean, are you going to stretch out one villain?
You're only one episode in, but I just have a question.
Two as of last night.
Okay,
yeah.
So, have we seen Bruce Wayne?
No, and I don't know that you're going. Well, let me rephrase that. Obviously, Kevin Conroy is going to show up and play Bruce Wayne in the Crisis thing, but there is no Bruce Wayne that I'm aware of that's going to be in this show.
Okay.
Or at least not yet.
He's not a goodie in the show.
Right. In the continuity of the show, Batman has been missing for 3 years. There's an organization called the Crows that is for hire service that Gotham's rich are hiring to kind of do this policing. And then the bad guy character is kind of a little Alice in Wonderland based. She's called Alice. There's a little bit of Alice in Wonderland to her. There's more Joker to her at points, but she's not. And I don't want to spoil too many things. Character for a bad guy. So I'm not against it, and there's some history with it all. The only other character of note is Lucius Fox's son Luke, is the one who's kind of been minding the store while Bruce Wayne's been gone.
Okay. Yeah, I want to watch it. I do want to watch and see how it is.
I want to check it out too.
Yeah.
Okay.
Of the shows so far that I've seen from the CW so far, the superhero shows, Supergirl's still solid. The Flash, the first episode of Riverdale is I'm sorry, I skipped. Black Lightning, I don't know. I'm not sure. I was starting to have trouble with it at the end of the last season, and I'm starting to get to a point where I'm like, I don't know. I don't know how much longer I really want to watch this. In terms of the other CWs, Riverdale was a kind of a memorandum for Luke Perry, where they kind of killed off Archie Andrews' father, Fred, in the show. And then the Nancy Drew thing happened last week, the premiere. The best way I can describe it is Riverdale and Veronica Mars, and a little bit more spooky. And you've got Nancy Drew. That's just the best way I can put it.
And that's also on CW?
Yeah, that's on CW as well.
Yeah.
I'll give it another couple episodes, but
Let's use the 3 strikes rule.
Yeah, we'll see. Well, sometimes I like to give them a little bit more than that because you gotta give them time to find their footing, and it can take more than.
You weren't here last week when we talked about when New York Comic Con dropped, so is there anything from it?
Yeah, I do.
Okay.
So there are rumors. So DC is possibly launching in the comic books 5G, which they're talking about another revamp, and some of the stuff that I'm hearing about it is that some of the main characters will not be, how do I put this?
Returning?
Look, don't get me wrong. You're going to have Batman as Bruce Wayne. You're going to have Superman as Clark Kent. All that kind of stuff. But I feel like the future of their universe, they're going to try to move into the next generation of people playing those characters. And I think, I don't know. There's something about it with how they're going to go about it that just doesn't sound good.
So Bruce is waning.
Like, there still will be Batman stories out there with Bruce Wayne, but I don't know that there will be continuity stories, if you understand what I mean.
I couldn't help myself.
Yeah, wow,
we
that
know.
was bad. So I'm not, like I said, I don't know how else to put this, but like, for example, ironically, one of the characters that's in Batwoman, the rumor is that, you know, like, for example, they're going to pass by a whole bunch of characters in the Batman universe to make Luke Fox, which is Lucius Fox's kid, Batman.
Okay.
And I'm like, okay. I mean, maybe it'll make sense. I don't know. I mean, this kind of reminds me of how Marvel, for a period of time, decided, like, almost all at the exact same time, decided to have a black girl as Iron Man. We're going to have Dr. Doom has infiltrated the mind of Peter Parker, so he's Spider-Man at the moment. Captain America isn't Captain right now. Thor is somebody else too. If you get the idea, like, you do that all at once sometimes, and it's like
it's jarring to the hardcore, to the
hardcore fans,
not to the traditionalists.
Okay.
Well, and the other thing is it's like, look, people still want to read. People still want to read Bruce Wayne. People are still going to always want to read Ken. People are always going to want to read those characters.
Man, I wish I had a comic store near me. It's nice. And this sucks not having a comic book store in my hometown anymore. I can't get caught up on some of these stories.
But, again, this hasn't happened yet.
Right, I know.
So,
yeah, I know.
But that's the one thing I remember seeing from... I've read a few things and
from NYCC.
From NYCC that had got brought up, and and this is the part I don't get, which is, if you really feel that way, the way the industry is now, you have the opportunity to go out there and put your wares out there in different ways where you don't need studios.
Right. Exactly. You don't have to cater to the studio system. That's why it's called independent film.
Right.
So if you got a bone of contention against the major studios and everything, then put out a product on the independent end of it. And the independent film situation has grown by large, for many years. And there are a lot of, and it's making more and more of a presence as time goes on. So you can do something about it if you so choose to do it. You don't have to depend on the major studio players. You don't have to depend on Fox and Columbia and MGM and all the rest of them, for any of them. Go out and make a project. If you ain't with what's out there now, Mr. Scorsese, go out and make a project that you'll be happy with.
Right. Well, that's what I mean. I mean, to me, I kind of laugh. It's like, is your complaint that you want this in the movies? Because in reality, Netflix was the one who decided that they weren't going to do a limited run of The Irishman in movie theaters. Not the movie houses. It was Netflix that decided that. Because honestly, if it was in the movie houses, I'd go to the movies.
Right.
Because the trailer looks amazing, and I'd like to see it. But so I'll probably see it with a friend, and when I get a chance to watch it on Netflix.
Because if you get a bone of contention with how things are being done, okay, but that does, if Netflix said, well, do we want to go with it, and you're not happy with it,
right. Well, the other thing is, and in fairness, their complaint is something we've talked about before, which is, that movie with Scorsese, they're going to make, and I'm just using these numbers as an example. Don't quote me on it, but let's say it makes $50 million, but Endgame is going to make $100 million.
Right.
Well,
Okay.
They say it. Studios want the bigger money.
Joker's already the number 8 film of the year domestically.
Right, and that's where I kind of laugh too. Is it's like, I think that's where I get frustrated. Is it's like, yeah, I get what you're saying, which is everybody's rushing to find those movies so that these big tent possibilities, so that they can make these big numbers. And what happened?
Right.
And what happened to the art? And
the art of the cinema.
Well, I mean, you know, and in fairness,
has the art of the cinema gone down to the bottom line? Has it become the bottom line?
See, but the problem is I don't think it has, and the reason I don't think it has is because you've got so many other ways to watch that kind of stuff now. If the problem is that you don't think it's getting enough exposure,
they can get the exposure.
Well, the problem is, like, for example, okay, you know, if there's a really good drama movie, is it going to be in this where the most people can get the most access to it? Probably not. But that said, in this day and age, is it really where the public is going to get the most access to it? I don't know anymore.
No, I think movie theaters, by and large, you know, for many years, and there are a lot of, and it's making more and more of a presence as time goes on. So you can do something about it if you so choose to do it. You don't have to depend on the major studio players. You don't have to depend on Fox and Columbia and MGM and all the rest of them, you know, for any of it. Yeah, go out and make a project. If you ain't happy with what's out there now, Mr. Scorsese, go out and make a project that you'll be happy with. You know?
Right. Well, that's what I mean. I mean, to me, I kind of laugh. It's like, is your complaint that you want this in the movies? Because really, in reality, Netflix was the one who decided that they weren't going to do a limited run of The Irishman in movie theaters, not the movie houses. It was Netflix that decided that. Because honestly, if it was in the movie houses, I'd go see it in the movies.
Right.
Because the trailer looks amazing, and I'd like to see it. But you know, so I'll probably see it with a friend, and when I get a chance to watch it on Netflix. But yeah, I mean.
Yeah, because if you get a bone of contention with how things are being done, I mean, yeah, okay, but that does, you know, if Netflix said, well, this is where we want to go with it, and you're not happy with it, you know,
right? Well, the other thing is, in fairness, their complaint is something we've talked about before, which is, yeah, that movie with Scorsese is probably going to make, and I'm just using these numbers as an example. Don't quote me on it, but let's say it makes $50 million, but Endgame is going to make $100 million.
Right.
Well,
okay.
They say it. Studios want the bigger money.
Joker's already the number 8 film of the year domestically.
Right, and that's where I kind of laugh too. Is it's like, I think that's where I get kind of frustrated. Is it's like. Yeah, I get what you're saying, which is everybody's rushing to find those movies so that these big tent possibilities, so that they can make these big numbers. And what happened to the art?
Right.
And what happened to the art? And
the art of the cinema.
Well, I mean, you know, and in
fairness, has the art of the cinema gone down to the bottom line? Has it become the bottom line?
See, but the problem is I don't think it has, and the reason I don't think it has is because you've got so many other ways to watch that kind of stuff now. If the problem is that you don't think it's getting enough exposure,
they can get the exposure.
Well, the problem is, like, for example, okay, you know, if there's a really good drama movie, is it going to be in the theaters where the most people can get the most access to it? Probably not. But that said, in this day and age, is it really where the public is going to get the most access to it? I don't know anymore.
No, I think movie theaters, in many ways, have become almost second tier to what people do on television, like Netflix and such. And I think unless you're going to make a big ticket item, that's the draw for the theater. But, that's not always a guarantee that you're going to have that draw. Because a lot of people now have become accustomed. Their watching habits are more homebound than they are to actually go out and see the movie.
Oh, no, people are still filling the theaters.
Yeah. Although the numbers are down this year. But, yeah, I mean, and it's funny because here's a perfect example. Mike, did you go see Rocket Man in the theater?
Yeah.
So did I. That's not a big-time, big-budget movie.
Well, yeah, it's just like just like with Bohemian Rhapsody, same thing, right? But I saw it in the theater, and I mean, there's a lot of movies that don't have that over the top situations that are just good, solid, entertainment that are still that are still drawing. But I don't know. Do you think that theaters are just preferential, or studios are just preferential to say, yeah, okay, we'll keep working on the big ticket items alongside with the fodder?
Well, we know the major theater chains are preferential towards the tent poles because that's what makes them money.
Right.
Currently,
but at the same time, it's not like they're not gonna, like when Star is Born came out with Lady Gaga and Bradley Cooper. It's not like, I mean, that thing was in the theaters for a while, and it got decent buzz. They got people out to see that movie.
Well, just like
Green
with
Book got people to see. They got people to see Green Book. I mean, it's not like these movies aren't existing. It's just I don't know. I just don't.
I don't think they're getting. I don't think they're getting the promotional. They don't get. I don't think they get the promotional budget that say some of the other movies. I think it's kind of slanted. And just like with the new Judy movie that's just been released.
Zellweger as Judy Garden.
Yeah, I'm
Garland.
Judy Garden.
Judy Garden.
Judy Garland. Yeah, same thing.
No. But yeah, I'd like to go see that though.
Maybe she hangs out with Joe Brown.
Wise guy. Anyway, but I would like to see that though, because there are movies that are not superhero movies that I want to still see.
Sure.
Yeah, I want to go see Jojo Rabbit.
Jojo Rabbit.
That looks funny.
Cool.
Yeah. No, I mean.
So the smaller theaters, the smaller shows are still getting some representation in the theaters, but unfortunately they've been eclipsed by these billion-dollar superhero films.
Right. Well, and the other thing is let's be honest. For you, it takes how many of those movies to equal,
production.
Ant-Man. How many of those movies does it take to equal Ant-Man? We're not even talking about Black Panther or Spider-Man.
Who's second or third tier?
I mean.
Well, it's just become that Leviathan.
Right, and it's, well, I mean, like, for example, it's not like all of them are rocketing out of the park. I mean, perfect example.
No.
That Gemini Man movie did exactly what we thought it was going to do.
It's like boring. Yeah.
It's like a stone. Because and we all call it is funny because we talked about it. We were all
we called bullshit on it.
Right. We all sit there going, okay, it's the same movie they made with Jean-Claude Van Damme.
Yeah,
except
there's two of them.
Right, except it's not nearly as funny, and it's not nearly as hokey, and it's far more serious, and maybe it would have been a good movie. I don't know, but I wasn't going to pay money to see it.
No,
that was
shared. A lot of people shared your sentiments, Jeff.
Yes. Well, in fairness, and taking a step further, and meanwhile, the Addams Family animated, that did okay over the weekend.
Yep. It Yeah, it did $30 million. That's not bad for
Yeah,
animated.
that's not bad.
But it is
Right,
Halloween time, so that kind of falls into that.
I think that kind of gives
year.
it the boost because it's a holiday film.
Sure.
So
Well, we know what movie. Here's the real test. The real test for Joker comes this weekend.
Oh my God! Look at this,
Yeah.
Gemini Man. Gemini Man's budget was $140 million.
Yep.
Opening weekend, it made $60.
Yep.
Oh.
And I got bad news. It's gonna get swallowed up.
Yeah.
Because you know what comes out this weekend, right?
Zombieland.
Zombieland 2.
Yep.
So that's
Zombieland 2.
So Gemini Man's gonna be is gonna fall right off and out of the theaters.
Yeah,
this
this
week.
is,
I think this is what
Paramount's gonna lose
Scorsese's
money.
annoyed about. Is the problem is that the problem is everybody keeps tagging it as Marvel movies. It's not just Marvel movies; it's franchise movies. Okay, here's an example. We're talking about this now. Okay, Zombieland 2 is coming out. Okay, well, yeah, because Zombieland was popular and and people wanted another one.
Right.
You know what's. Sorry,
Yeah,
sorry, you're making movies that don't have a 2 behind them half the time. You know.
Well, it's because we've had this conversation about the follow-up movies, the 2, the 3s, the 4s, and
sequels are franchise films. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, and some, a few of them work, most of them don't, but it's just. But if you got the populace saying that they want another film, and you give them another film, but I mean, my bet is that you're going to get people to go see that film for better or for worse, just even on the curiosity tip of seeing if it holds up to the first one.
Yeah.
So there's all that. So there's all that money scatter right there. And then, of course, for the international market, again, another subject we spoke on, for the international market, which they do like the fact that we serialize our franchise films, the 2, 3s, and 4s.
Yeah. Well, that's an entirely different conversation because.
Well, that's another ball of wax.
Given certain things that are going on in China right now, which is really the number 2 movie market in the world.
Yeah.
Right.
Things can start to get interesting between what's going on with them with the NBA, and then they banned South Park.
Yeah. Because of the episode with the.
Because of this whole Hong Kong thing.
Yeah.
And
then that's what I thought you were talking about with Fortnite, but with Overwatch being under scrutiny now because they banned a pro Hong Kong protester player. So
no. Apparently over the weekend they ended the Fortnite game. Is my understanding entirely. Like all of a sudden it went screen to black, kind of like The Sopranos, and people were like, now what? What do I do in my life now? What's going on? Somebody hit the button.
You mean you're like, well, you bought the game Fortnite and now you can't play it anymore?
I think
right
now, I don't know. I don't understand. Maybe they're starting a new game. Maybe they're starting a new chapter. I
think it's gone
I
to black.
don't pay enough attention.
Okay. Maybe they're making way for New Coke or something like that. Something
like that. Or, season 2.
Well, we're running long this week, but I don't know if there's anything else we want to quick touch on before we head out.
Real fast, I keep hearing, every time I turn around, I'm hearing another name or another something about this Crisis in Infinite Earths thing
really
that they
building
got.
It up, man.
That, now apparently, because Lucifer is a DC property, and now the guy from Lucifer is supposedly supposed to be in it. There's rumblings that Titans is in it. There's a rumor that they did get Justin Hartley to do Green Arrow again. But again, some of this stuff isn't confirmed and some of it isn't. So now in fairness, the Lucifer one is. Lucifer one is confirmed. The others aren't. But supposedly they're going to possibly have a quick clip from some of the DC Universe shows to explain some of this stuff. So I don't, it could be crazy. The only other,
just, it's cool that we're getting these actors and all that, but now, at this point, it just seems like DC is just spitballing.
The team sticks to the wall, huh?
Well, in fairness, keep in mind, when they did this in the comics, I mean, you're talking about every freaking character. I mean, every character was involved in Crisis. So they're trying to make it I agree with you that they got to be careful.
Yeah.
That this gets overdone, but I think that they're aware of
It's
it.
oversaturated.
At the same time, I think they want the magnitude. I think they want the magnitude of it all. So I think that's part of it. Just like supposedly there was something that was snapped a picture where there's an old newspaper that has a picture of Batman, and it's the Michael Keaton Batman from 1989 that they're going to use. So that really the Michael Keaton Batman would be in continuity, apparently. I don't know. The only other thing I can think of real fast before we go is, so apparently Chris Hemsworth wants to do another movie with Robert Downey Jr. and Chris Evans. And apparently again, I want to be clear, because apparently he was here over the weekend and he was talking about it, and he's like, I don't know, maybe something like The Three Amigos.
Oh yeah, I did see a blip on that.
But it's not official. It's just
that's just
him spitballing an idea. And,
I think it would be cool though.
Yeah.
It'd be funny if they.
It'd be funny as shit. Yeah.
You know, it's funny. They need. You know who they should get to play Al? If they were to redo it, they need the guy from Ant-Man to play El Guapo.
Okay.
The guy who does the long big thing about.
Oh, Luis, yeah.
Luis,
Michael.
The guy who plays Luis.
Michael
that
Pena.
guy needs to be El Guapo. That would be interesting. So it's fun because people right away are like, why do they have to remake it? That's lazy. It's like, no, that's not lazy. It's just an idea that Hemsworth had. It's not.
It might be good for like a 20-minute skit or a 10-minute skit. I don't know, but it'll like a 90-minute film with the Avengers cast as the Three Amigos.
Yeah, well, like again, the thing.
Yeah, I know. It's just a fun little idea to throw out there.
Exactly. Basically, the long and short is he's like, yeah, I'd like to work with him again on some sort of buddy, like 80s type buddy comedy or something, like cop buddy comedy kind of thing. Yeah. And I'm like, you know what? Sure, why not? You know, they're just, you know, there's an idea of two guys who, honestly, I kind of laugh. How is that any different than what Clooney did with the Ocean's 11 stuff?
True.
Which is, let me pull all my friends together and do a movie.
Right.
Yeah, that 21 Bridges should be coming out soon with Chadwick Boseman.
I'm curious to see, like I said, well, before we go, I am curious to see if Joker can hold off Zombieland.
I don't think so.
I don't think it can.
Zombieland's become a cult favorite now.
Yeah.
And we're getting towards Halloween time, and zombies is, I don't know.
Well, look at the timing. They're bringing Zombieland around Halloween. How is that going to be a miss at all?
Forget that. Right now, we could use a movie like Zombieland out there too, because it's more of it's not really a horror film. It's more like
horror
an action
comedy. Yeah.
But it still has a horror element attached to it.
Right. Well, and it's got zombies. So.
Well, and it's got zombies, so you know the appeal is there. Just like the Addams Family rode that wave and had a good weekend with it. So you know why? Because Halloween's only 2 weeks away, so you know everybody's in the festive season. You know the festiveness of the season already. So
yes, and then it'll be time for Christmas again.
Yeah, man.
Well, wait a minute. Where the fuck did Thanksgiving go? Excuse me?
I don't know.
You mean Black Friday weekend? Oh, yeah.
That's not Black Friday weekend. Thanksgiving. And...
I'm with you, Ivan, but I've learned.
I know.
The war on Thanksgiving will begin shortly.
Yes.
But
let's get to Halloween first.
Yeah.
I swear to God.
One at a time, please.
I've learned.
Yes.
I've learned that the war on Thanksgiving is a war you cannot win.
No cutscenes.
No.
It's
although I did see in some media that there are going to be some companies closing on Thanksgiving this year.
Yeah.
So that'll be.
Bears are on Thanksgiving this year.
What?
Bears playing Thanksgiving Day?
Yep. Bears play the Lions again on Thanksgiving Day.
Oh, there you go.
Second year in a row.
Okay.
So,
So we got that going
turkey
for us.
Mm-hmm.
The only problem with that is it's the morning game.
Oh, it's the early. Well, that's when you're having snacks before the turkey shows up.
Right. It's
Right. Yeah, that's a food fill.
That's my problem. If I fill up on snacks while I'm watching football, and then the turkey comes, and then I'm semi-full by the time the bird arrives.
Well,
that's
the problem is that like the Dallas game's always the late game.
Yeah.
Okay. And then the early game is always Detroit. The real trick is if you can be the late game, which is like the NFL Network game, in which they pick two teams at random. Like there was one year, I think it was Bears-Packers one year on Thanksgiving night. And that was
late game?
That's what I'm talking about.
Is that before the chemicals from the turkey kick in and put you to sleep?
No.
Yeah, well, suddenly you have to make sure the turkey doesn't do that because you're like, oh. That might have been the game.
All right, we're putting a moratorium on turkey talk until November now.
Yeah.
Okay.
Fine.
All right.
Well,
we need to be sure we are fully prepared for the war on Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
Got to have our magazine fully
loaded.
loaded.
We need like bumpers.
I got my fork and my knife and my neckerchief, and I'm ready to fight this to the bitter end.
Okay.
We need like bumper music and stuff like that, like dun 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 dun. The war on Thanksgiving. I don't know.
It'd be good.
All right.
We'll have to talk to our non-existent sound department.
Yeah, didn't I just do it? Dum, 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 dum.
Yeah, Jeff's the new sound department.
There we go. Beat by Jeff.
Wow. I don't know.
All
right. So, Mike, how do they hear us?
We are on Instagram and Twitter at SOTRT Podcast. We're on Facebook. We have all the crazy stories from our sister show, News is Squared. Shout out to Scott. We're on Podbean, we're on Anchor, we're on Google, we're on Apple, we're on Spotify. Check us out on the emails as well. We're on YouTube. Click the bell, subscribe. You'll know when new content arrives. Email us at sotrtpodcast@gmail.com. Thank you, Scott, for showing up. Thank you, Ivan, for not dying during your procedure. Congratulations, Jeff, on your second place, but out of 3 people where the third person was disqualified.
Yep.
Second comes right after first.
Yes. Yep. We try harder.
Avis, we try harder. So we'll catch y'all next time.
On the Squares of the Round Table.